In 1943, a 9-year-old girl was having trouble with her math class. And so she decided to write a letter asking for advice from the greatest scientist in the world. And he wrote back to her, "Dear Barbara, do not worry about your troubles in mathematics. I can assure you that mine are still greater. Best regards, Professor Albert Einstein." Now, it's a fun story, but many people say that such a thing couldn't possibly happen today. We live in a time that's harder edged, faster paced, less innocent. It's almost as if adults are too busy to bother with children, and professionals are too busy to bother with amateurs. I'm here to tell you that in the age of the internet, everyone is accessible, and far more professionals are willing to respond to children, or anyone else, than you might think. A few years ago, I contacted a number of professors whose work interested me, asking me if I could work in their labs. Not only did the majority of them respond, some even invited me to work alongside them in their labs. And so I began my research career at the age of 15. I will always be grateful to these professors that supported me, as well as all of my lab mates, since I'd learned so much from them, some of which went far past the specific research project I worked on, and maybe even bigger or more important. I learned the power of questions. Now, asking the right question is at the heart of science. It's the basis of the scientific method. But asking the right question can also be the key to get you through a lot of doors. Let me tell you how it happened for me. I grew up as one of those inquisitive children, constantly bombarding my parents with questions. Most kids get this curiosity trained out of them after a few years. They're told to stop asking so many questions. We become familiar with the world around us, and even if something catches our attention, many times we are too busy or preoccupied to find out more about it. In school, the focus is on memorizing the answers to already asked questions, rather than proposing and asking our own. I was lucky. My parents and teachers went the other way. They did their best to answer my questions and encouraged me to ask more, deeper questions. As I grew, I also discovered the field of research, and I was really drawn to it. I thought it would be the coolest thing in the world to answer questions that nobody else has ever answered before. And thanks to the internet, it is now so much easier to do that. Many have considered science to be a field for the elite. It's a field of PhDs and MDs and MMGBSA and 2,4-dioxybutanoic acids and thousands of other titles and acronyms and unpronounceable jargon. It almost seems like you need a title or affiliation to participate. And without one, it's almost impossible to get to the guidance or resources that you need. However, in the age of the internet, it's pretty simple contacting almost anyone these days, whether it's a scientist or doctor, and whether you're sending them an email with the information from their website, or you're contacting them via something like LinkedIn. In my case, I actually browsed the websites of professors in my area. And when I found a few whose work interested me, I sent them emails asking them if I could work in their labs. Now, writing these emails took a lot of preparation and careful thought. These professors don't have a lot of spare time, money, or resources for high school students, or really anyone they don't see can help them. I've seen too many bright students write emails like, "Dear Dr. So-and-so, could I work in your lab? Thanks." Now, instead, if you can communicate that you're truly interested in their work and that you've taken the time to understand it, these professors will be only too happy to talk to a young, eager scientist. In my case, I even shared some of my ideas regarding their work and what I hope to do in their lab. Out of the dozen or so professors I've sent emails to, close to 10 have responded, and I even ended up working in 4 of their labs. Now, the next big question I had to ask was what my research would be on. But whether contacting a professor or proposing a project, the key to a good question is the same. A good question evokes curiosity by exhibiting curiosity. It draws attention for being bold, for being different, ambitious. It's interesting because it opens so many different paths, so many possibilities, and challenges you to find which one leads to the answer. In my case, I decided to explore the power of computers. I wanted to see if I could bring sheer computer power to biology, and with this interdisciplinary approach, speed up the discovery of new medicine, specifically for the flu. I attended workshops and seminars in order to learn more about the computational field. I read through mountains of research papers. I literally have stacks of them in my room. I even attended an online course on drug discovery and development for graduate students. With this, and over 1,000 hours, I was able to find new anti-flu drug leads that I'm hoping to develop into real flu medicine. Now, my story may sound unusual today, but if it is, it won't be for long. You see, I'm not an outlier. I may just be a leading indicator of an enormous change that is already happening. You see, when you begin with the democratization of access to knowledge, you end up with the democratization of science. And then it's not who has the right letters at the end of their name that opens all the doors. Some doors will be opened by who asks the right question. We live in a very exciting time. Every second, 7 new minds are logging onto the internet for the very first time. That makes several thousand since I started my talk, and more than 500,000 every day. And the internet is the perfect place to foster a sense of inquisitiveness. It puts us within keystrokes of the resources or people that we need to answer our questions. These millions and millions of individuals joining the online community now have access to resources unavailable in the past, and resources that can help them change the world. Now, in this new era of science, we are truly accessing the minds of every single mind in the world to solve the daunting challenges that face society. All we have to do is keep asking, and keep asking well. The way we frame our inquiries shapes the way we make our discoveries. If you allow me to go back to Albert Einstein, I think he said it best. If I had an hour to solve a problem, and my life depended on the solution, I would spend the first 55 minutes determining the proper question to ask. For once I know the proper question, I could solve the problem in less than 5 minutes. Thank you.